Hello and welcome back to another very, very hot episode. It's one of the hottest days of the year and I'm in the midst of another really busy work week, but I found time to play Deadpool on the Xbox 360. This game is a game which I've wanted to get my hands on since it first came out, but due to the popularity of the Deadpool movie, I think, and also the Deadpool hardcore fans really wanting the game, the price has stayed up fairly expensive, and only recently has it become affordable for me anyway, on my limited budget. And so I got it on the Xbox 360, and it arrived late last week, and we're going to play it today. And I have played it obviously over the weekend, but today we're going to play just the opening of the game, which is just magnificent. Unashamedly, I'm going to play it on the easiest difficulty, just so I can talk while we're playing. And crucially, this game gets it right. It gets what it has to get right, and that is the character of Deadpool. So let's just soak ourselves in a bit of this, shall we?
Deadpool, it's Peter Delapenna from High Moon Studios. You know, the guy you kept calling dickhead when you cornered me in the parking lot the other night? Anyway, looked over your proposal. Not gonna pretend I understand any of it, but the answer is no. We're gonna pass on your big game idea.
What? He said no? That was our chance to be our own video game.
Maybe we shouldn't have written the proposal in crayon. Relax. You know he's gonna call back.
Oh, yeah, because of the...
Deadpool! Hey, it's Peter. You know, dickhead. Yeah, remember when I called you earlier and told you no? Such a joker, because I meant yes, of course. The new proposal you sent over this morning went off with a big bang in the office today. Genius. Just genius. So, sum it up. Congratulations. Let's make a video game.
See? Once again, our explosive personality wins the day.
High five!
No high fives, we're voices in our head.
I've got my top designers banging away on the script right now. As soon as it's ready, we'll send it right over.
Script!
And there we go. Yeah, they really get the character of Deadpool right. And while
This is bullshit. A script? Like some dingus word writer's gonna know better than me how to show how amazing I am.
Amazing is more Spider-Man's thing.
Yeah, right. What's so amazing about that geek?
Well,
Good question.
superhuman strength and reflexes, extrasensory perception, genius level intellect, the ability to stick to any surface.
No one else sticks it?
Click.
as my wife was saying
What's that?
when she watched me playing this the other day,
Every move now?
the voice actor isn't exactly her favourite version of Deadpool.
Oh, now it's gonna be one of those games.
He is nonetheless the merc with the mouth, and therefore it's quite hard actually to get a word in edgeways, as I'm finding already. And that again is pretty much spot
Sit your
on.
ass down and watch some TV. Maybe you'll learn something.
Okay, let's watch some TV.
Ah, the news. It's like looking through the want ads.
Deadpool, branded as both hero and villain. Deadpool was a badass mercenary named Wade Wilson. After being recruited into the Weapon X program, Wade was subjected to experiments that gave him awesome regenerative powers and drove him batshit crazy. Today, the merc with a mouth travels the globe in search of fortune and chimichangas.
There you go.
Click.
Yes. So they've got the character
Think
spot
the
on.
player knows anything about us?
They did buy the game.
To know us is to love us.
Wonder what's in here.
And one of the key things is this whole idea of the fourth wall being broken. Now, actually, I'm just going to go over here, and this is actually a little Easter egg which I really quite like in Deadpool's apartment. Where he makes
I love the smell of pancakes in the morning. Smells like victory.
thousands of pancakes. Now, actually, in the comics, he makes 300,000 or something, 300 and something thousand. I'll put it on screen. Pancakes. Because actually, it ends up saving Domino's life. She falls through a roof and lands on the pancakes. In his flat, in the game at least, there's all sorts to do, as you would expect.
What's this?
Oh. Press A. Peer pressure is forcing me to drink. Okay, yeah. Should we drink some more? Yeah. A bit more?
Enough with the damn beer. Healing factor won't let me get drunk anyway.
Of course, with his healing factor, borrowed from Wolverine, he can't get drunk. That's quite funky.
Wonder what's in here.
Oh, okay. Make a stink pickle or kill germs. Let's make a stink pickle.
Ooh, yeah. There we go. Now we're talking. Much more realistic. Fine. You asked for this. Hundreds of... How? Oh, I kinda love the ones that make you sweat.
Now, if we could just hold this angle for a second, I really actually do appreciate as well, in terms of gameplay, how High Moon Studios have taken their attention to detail. Their attention to detail from the Transformers games and applied it to the Deadpool game. And that's really where this game shines. It is, in fact, in its attention to detail. It's not in the gameplay, per se. It's a perfectly functional
Oh, I gotta cut back on that Mexican food.
action-adventure game.
Just kidding.
But it's also deeply repetitive. And in terms of the range of bad guys, for example, that you face, it's quite disappointing. But it is because Deadpool is so loved
Join the show, freak.
in this game, that that some of that stuff gets a free pass, I think. And I've heard that a few times online.
Why would anybody want to see that? I sure don't. Why did you think I wear a goddamn mask?
Hope this game doesn't, like, try to do the whole tragedy behind the comedy thing.
That would be tragic. So let's open the door. Hang on.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, hello.
Underwear?
I want to leave
Are you
this.
trying to say underwear?
Still want to play with my junk. I think.
Delivery permit.
No autographs today, poopy pants.
Well, at first I wasn't feeling it, but I think I'm getting the hang of this whole let's explore my apartment bit.
Yep.
So, how's the ball looking coming along?
Red Rocket! You just sit tight, and I won't have to shoot you.
So it's Nolan North who does the voice of Deadpool, and that's I think we're about to hear from him on the phone.
Nolan! Hey, what's up, buddy? We're making a game about me. Gotta have you do the VO. Now, see, here's the thing. People tell me we sound alike.
That sounds awesome, Deadpool. Listen, I had a different take on it. Maybe we just make you, maybe it's an alternative type of Deadpool. He's somebody that, like, forget the boobs. Let's just go for pecs. Pecs and biceps. Forget girls. Why don't you just contact my agent for the booking, and we'll see what we can do.
He's so in.
Look, Deadpool, I got another call coming in. Gotta take it. Good luck with the game, though.
Yeah, well, fuck you, Nolan.
Yeah, so there he is talking to his own voice actor. As I say, the fourth wall is not remotely intact.
You wanna, actually go kill stuff.
I love how he's getting a bit bored. Now, which is actually strangely reminiscent of Sonic the Hedgehog in the original Sonic the Hedgehog game.
The greatest idea for a level in the game. Tits.
In the original Sonic the Hedgehog, he'll tap his foot and cross his arms and look at you like he's bored. Which actually, this just occurred to me, that is fourth wall breaking, isn't it? Sonic the Hedgehog. Is that the revelation of this video?
Making me an awesome guitar.
Sonic the Hedgehog is in that sense a fourth wall breaker. Is he a bit like Deadpool? I wonder if Deadpool and Sonic the Hedgehog are aware of each other's work. Must be. There's no more TV. I don't want to sleep on the couch. Let's see what's in the bedroom.
See what's behind door number 1.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm starting to get the feeling that no love was put into my partner.
Oh, look, I like that. The X-Men costume with X-Men on it. Oh.
Now this is what it's all about. Look at all this fine weaponry.
Oh, there's Domino on the wall, looking domino-y. Of course he's got dial-up.
You know why I love the internet? Because it's just like me.
Vulgar, combative, and contradictory.
Overflowing with perversion and stupidity? Yes, and yes. Ooh, hey, Brad! How do I update my status to erect? Another friend request from Ryan? Doesn't this guy ever get the hint? How do I update my status to bored shitless?
What if that's Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, man, this cat video is hilarious!
Okay, I forget.
How about I show you one of my Deadpool comics? Said.
See what else we can do.
Now, where did I put my autographed New Mutants issue 98? Huh. What is this cheap from? Well, this was clearly made by a junior artist.
So he's even aware that his flat in this game was designed by artists at High Moon Studios.
All right already.
I have a package for Mr. Deadpool.
Yeah,
Hello,
go on then.
sir. I have a package.
So do I. Yoink. Package. Shit. As I suspected. Words. Everywhere.
We should read some of them.
Fine. Scene 1.
Okay.
Dark and stormy night. Deadpool is contracted to kill media mogul Chance White, who is blah 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 dee blah blah. Don't need that. Edit that.
Ah, crayons. Very classy.
Why are we trying to kill what's his face? Who cares? I'm making art here. Behold.
Not sure the player understands our thinking
Hey
here.
player, just go with it. We're about to change your fucking life. Bring the noise.
Do you know, it's true. Yeah, there's not very much talking that's required from me in this particular video.
Sewer.
He does all the talking for you.
Does anybody remember how to play? I never read the manual.
You can't read.
Yes, I can.
I only play PC games.
Hey, there's some text. Player, read that shit. Do whatever High Moon says. Ah, sweet. Jump button. Light attacks. Check.
Try triple X, basic combo. Okay, press Y.
Heavy attacks. Got it.
Press triple Y.
Command goons respond so we can test our match skills.
Now this is where it becomes clear that, in many ways, Deadpool is inferior to the Arkham games. Arkham Asylum in particular did a similar thing in its opening moments with the game, in terms of learning combos and this kind of thing. But the controls and the rhythm of the controls, funnily enough, in Arkham and in those Batman games, they're just better. They're just better all round.
You know what's better than not getting hit? Hitting back.
But it's the fun, it's the character, and it's the way in which actually Wade Wilson literally navigates this world along with you that makes this game, as it were, more tolerable. It raises it above its play mechanics. And I think that's pretty much universally what's been agreed on in terms of the reviews online as well. This was a game which I think I was going to get anyway, but I have, in the wanting of the game, I spent a lot of time watching different reviews. And broadly speaking, yeah, that's the one weakness, well, two weaknesses. The second one I haven't really experienced yet. The second one being the upsurge in difficulty level.
Get it. Buttons do stuff. Let's move on.
A sudden difficulty spike towards the end of the game.
Besides, you two schmucks. One crate, please.
The main downside is main downside is just that it doesn't quite live up to better games that we've already played. But it really is. It's the character, it's the randomness, it's the craziness of Deadpool
Setup work that'll get you all tuckered up.
that really
Bounce house. Check. Boing, 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 boing.
makes you overlook everything else.
Banana! Wahoo!
Okay, off we go.
Hey, we don't take ball damage, so go nuts.
Okay.
Ooh, an unsuspecting bad guy. Let's stealth kill him.
In that sense as well, the game does fairly well at taking the mick out of game cliches. Things like, for example, collecting tokens, doing stealth kills, the double jump, so on and so forth.
Yeah, but it's called progression in games. A must-have. Hey, player, open up the upgrade menu and see what we can buy.
What can we buy? There we go, I'll do.
The more bad guys we kill, the more upgrades we can unlock and purchase with our points.
I like to spec my Deadpool for defense and healing.
Yeah, I like to spec my Deadpool for nougat and cream filling, but I don't think that's an option.
I don't think that is an option.
Okay, class. Tap jump while jumping towards a wall to perform a ta-da!
I have to say, at this point of the game, the controls feel a little bit, the movement controls, and also the relationship between the character and the camera feels a little bit clunky. As I say, it's not as polished as it could be, and it's also actually not as polished as, for example, the Transformers games. Teleport, there we go. As the Transformers games. It feels as though it could have used a little bit more work. But that said, though, it's hard to tell whether or not some of this stuff is simply part of I suppose, the theme of the game, and that is to say,
I think I need to make an entrance.
taking the mick out of game cliches. So maybe the fact that elements of the game are, for example, generic in terms of, say, the sewer layout, or indeed even the control mechanism, is all part of the joke. Now, that's where essentially Time Moon has a blank slate, don't they? They have a carte blanche in this case, because they can basically claim that anything was part of the joke. Anything bad, anything good, anything mediocre was just part of their joke. But again, this is where I think the love of the character allows you to give the game a certain amount of leeway. Now, it's a little bit strange that teleport, which is mapped to the B button, is the same as a sort of respond or a preemptive attack button. So Deadpool has a sort of a spidey sense, if that's remotely appropriate. But then again, Batman has something similar in Arkham Asylum. And basically, when he senses that an attack might be coming, he can press B and you see it over the heads of the bad guys there, and it gives you the opportunity just to slice people. But so it can be a bit weird when you're trying to sort of get out of a situation by teleporting, and instead what you end up doing is doing that, you see. Again, it just makes you feel that the game isn't quite as finished as it could be.
My favorite part was when I killed him, all single-handed.
Alert! You're locking elevator access now. Troops are give you that. Listen, masked moron. Nobody comes into my house like this. I hope it was worth it.
The elevators are disabled.
Oh, I know. Let's get some chimichangas and wait for him to come downstairs.
Or we could find a way to shut down power to the entire building. That would force a system reset, bringing power back to the elevator.
Like this.
Look that there's a smart voice and a not so smart voice.
I am not a clown, sir.
So look at the objective there. Get down to maintenance room and power down this bitch. Deadpool is also, of course, he has his healing factor, which means that essentially it's like a, it's the Halo standard. You know, don't take some damage for a while, and Deadpool life will fill up again, as we're about to see. So there you go.
I need theme music.
The gunplay is pretty good. You don't have to aim. You can also rely on essentially an auto aim.
Innuendo. Innuendo.
This is what I think it is.
There we go.
Jackpot! Ooh, yeah. I'll let those elevators work again. I'm so smart.
Which one of you idiots shut down the damn power? Get down there and fix it!
There we go.
Let's try something a little fancy. The higher your combo, the faster you can earn momentum to do awesome moves like that. We can get more momentum moves by upgrading our weapons.
My combos mean more Deadpool points, which mean more awesome upgrades.
Got it.
That's also one of the areas where the game can be a little bit tiresome,
Go a lot smoother if my reputation preceded me.
because it does hold your hand quite a lot. Then again, it holds your hand again, arguably, in a way which is just like other computer games. See what I mean? It's kind of hard to know where to actually actively criticize the game, because some of these are tropes that the Deadpool would in fact want to have in his game, and would in fact want to take the piss off. But I think I don't, it's a little bit like the Simpsons game in that sense. The Simpsons game had some, sort of, you had comic book guy turning up and sort of saying, computer game trope number 5, this kind of thing. The double jump, etc., etc. And in that sense, literally, Deadpool does the same with the double jump. He points it out as a video game trope. That's appreciated, but perhaps also it belies a slight lack of originality. And so therefore, maybe actually, some of the gameplay issues can be left at High Moon Studios' front doorstep, as it were. Maybe they could have had a slightly more polished approach. Oh, we're being shot at. Yeah.
An open elevator. That's more like it.
Oh. See, there I actually wanted to slice the guy, and instead I teleported behind him. You just can't quite predict. So yeah, it's a game which isn't perfect, and I went in knowing that, but it's a game
This is my jam. You can't sing.
that has moments like this.
I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. See?
He's like an angel.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy for...
Oh,
This must be my stop. There's gotta be a way out of here. Think, Deadpool, think. Movie solutions are being stuck in an elevator in 3, 2, 1.
there we go. And here we are outside the building. Lightning is scary, and our pajamas are getting soaked. Find a way back inside the building. That's the next objective, and I think we should leave it there. Deadpool is a game which I am glad that I got. I'm glad that I got it, in particular because it's on a system that I own. I didn't have to go really seeking for it, or like some sort of download or whatever emulation. But it's also a game that I'm glad I didn't pay full price for. Now, to be fair, when it first came out, I believe this game was 50 instead of £60. I think it was. So the studio was acknowledging that it is, in that sense, a relatively cut-price title. But for what you get, for the love of character and for the Easter eggs, and for the little moments with Deadpool, and also some of his interactions with the bad guys that you are slaughtering as you go along, and also some of the more funny interactions with some of the good guys who you meet up, in a couple of levels' time, the game is worth it. So if you get a chance, if you manage to get this for a price that you're happy to pay for it, then definitely give it a go. Anyway, guys, as ever, until next time, do take care. Maybe you'll get another video this week, but I can't guarantee it. So if I don't see you sooner, I'll definitely see you next week. Bye-bye.